EPA has all the information on what's in the ingredients are. The largest ingredient in Corexit is oil. But there are other materials, and when the ingredients are mixed with oil, the combination of Corexit or any dispersant and oil is more toxic than the oil itself. But EPA has all that information. That's a red herring issue being raised, that we have to somehow know more information. When you look at the label and you look at the toxicity sheets that come with it, the public knows enough to know that it's very dangerous. The National Academy of Science has done work on it. Toxicologists from Exxon that developed it have published on it. So we know enough to know that it's very dangerous, and to say that we just have to know more about it is a red herring issue. We know plenty. It's very dangerous, and in fact, Congressman Nadler and Senator Lautenberg are working on legislation to ban it.
And I should correct myself, 1.8 million gallons, I think it is, of Corexit that's been dumped, Sheree.
And that's correct. Kaufman, almost 2 million gallons of... Yes, sir.
So the...
I'm sorry, I'm not...
No, go ahead. The dispersant is... these nearly 2 million gallons have been dispersed not only on the surface of the water, but also 5,000 feet below the water as well. Can you talk about that?
Well, not only do you have airplanes flying and dropping them on the Gulf region like Agent Orange in Vietnam, but a large amount of it is being shot into the water column at 5,000 feet to disperse the oil as it gushers out. And so you have spread, according to the Associated Press, over perhaps 44,000 square miles, an oil and dispersant mix. And what's happened is that makes it impossible to skim the oil out of the water. One of the things that happened is they brought this big boat, Whale, in from Japan to get rid of the oil, and it didn't work because the majority of the oil is spread throughout the water column over thousands of square miles in the Gulf. And so and there's been a lot of work to show that dispersants, which is true, make it more difficult to clean up the mess than if you didn't use them. The sole purpose in the Gulf for dispersants is to keep a cover-up going for BP to try to hide the volume of oil that has been released and save them hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars of fines. That's the purpose of using the dispersants, not to protect the public health or the environment, quite the opposite.
You've made comparisons between Corexit, the use of Corexit, and hiding BP's liability, and what happened at Ground Zero after the attacks of September 11th, Hugh Kaufman.
Yeah, I was one of the people who, well, I did the Ombudsman investigation on Ground Zero, where EPA made false statements about the safety of the air, which has since, of course, been proven to be false. Consequently, you have the heroes, the workers there. A large percentage of them are sick right now, not even 10 years later, and most of them will die early because of respiratory problems, cancer, etc., because of EPA's false statements. And you've got the same thing going on in the Gulf. EPA administrators saying the same thing, that the air is safe and the water is safe, and the administrator misled Senator Mikulski on that issue in the hearings you talked about. And basically the problem is dispersants mixed with oil and air pollution. EPA, like in 9/11, I did that investigation 9 years ago, was not doing adequate and proper testing. Same thing with OSHA, with the workers. They're using mostly BP's contractor, and BP's contractor for doing air testing is the company that's used by companies to prove they don't have a problem. If you remember the wallboard pollution problem from China, the wallboard from China, this company does that environmental monitoring. It's a massive cover-up, and so far, luckily, we have 2 members of Congress and 1 member of the Senate on the case. Hopefully more will join in.
Well, let's go to a clip that's been circulating on the internet. It's from an investigation from WKRG News 5 into the toxicity levels of water and sand on public beaches around Mobile, Alabama. One of the water samples collected near a boom at Dauphin Island Marina just exploded when mixed with an organic solvent separating the oil from the water. This is Bob Naiman, the chemist who analyzed the sample, explaining why it might have exploded.
We think that it most likely happened due to the presence of either methanol or methane gas or the presence of the dispersant Corexit.
Hugh Kaufman, can you talk about this video clip?
Well, yes, I saw that when it first came out, I think on Sunday, and what they documented was that the water, you know, when you're on the sand with your children and they dig and there's little water, they documented there was over 200 parts per million of oil waste in the water, and it's not noticeable to the human eye, that the children were playing with on the beach. On top of it, the contamination in one of the samples was so high that when they put the solvent in as a first step in identifying how much oil may be in the water, the thing blew up, just as he said, probably because there was too much Corexit in that particular sample. But what's funny about that is on Thursday, the administrator of EPA, in answering Senator Mikulski's question at the hearing that you played the clip on, said that EPA has tested the water up to 3 miles out and onshore and found that it's safe. And then a few days later, the television station in Pensacola and in Mobile document with their own limited testing that statement was false, misleading, and/or inaccurate by the administrator.